Hi everyone, it's Lindsay from Tidystyle, and today we are going to be organizing this beautiful kitchen and pantry. So they actually recently just did a remodel and are setting things up in their new space. So we love doing areas like this. It's always fun to kind of see how it comes together in a new space. So we're excited to show you guys how everything comes together. So let's get started. I'm gonna head outside and we are going to unload all of our product. We're not gonna use all of it, but we like to bring lots of options. So let's go meet the team outside, unload our product, and get started for the day.
This is Lola, our new cargo van. We bought her this fall, and this has been super helpful for our teams in loading and unloading product. We no longer have the problem of having to bring product back to a client's home because we have plenty of room to bring it all the first time. So here is the before on this beautiful kitchen. This is actually the after for the remodel and the before for our team coming in and getting it organized. We did not consult with this client on the remodel. That is something that we can do, and we really love when we get the opportunity to do that, because as organizers, there are a lot of things that we can point out to a homeowner when they are remodeling a kitchen. And we just have so many tips on how to maximize the space, and we're really obviously always thinking about storage. But this space was actually done pretty well. There wasn't a lot of upper storage to work with because they had that beautiful oven range hood. So that took up a lot of space, but I think it was worth it. And then on the lowers, they did have a lot of drawers, or mini drawers, which is always very helpful as well. And then you can see on the back side of that island, there's lots of storage to work with there as well. Okay, so when organizing a kitchen, we always start with taking everything out of the cabinets, and in this case, everything out of the boxes, and everything gets sorted into categories. You want a good visual inventory on how much of each category you have. That will inform a really good space plan.
Okay, so far we've unboxed most items and we've put them into categories. So we have barware here, drink station behind, and then over here we have appliances and cookware, and then we have our serveware down here, and we're just gonna keep going.
So our client today has an awesome barware collection. We found a lot while we were unpacking. So there's some really nice, beautiful china here, some beer, wine, and cocktail glasses. There's also more over here. So we are going to fit this somewhere in the kitchen. We're not sure yet, but definitely a lot of space that we will be accounting for today. But it is a beautiful collection, so we're gonna find a great home for it. We have finished our unpacking the boxes and also categorizing now. So the next step in our process is cleaning. We always wipe down the surfaces of the cabinets, inside drawers before we put everything away. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and then we'll start putting things away.
Okay, while you can watch this lovely footage of our team cleaning the kitchen, I just wanted to make note on a couple of things. So when it comes to renovating a kitchen, from our point of view, and we have organized hundreds if not thousands of kitchens, I would say that drawers on the lowers, that is so key as far as organization and having a really accessible kitchen. So we would definitely recommend a row of shallow drawers up top, and then gradually get deeper toward the bottom. And deep drawers are a great place to store a lot of different things, water bottles, food storage, that type of thing. Okay, so our process is clear into categories, then do an edit. The edit is very, very important. You really do want to minimize down to just the stuff that you use and or love. then clean, and then we're space planning. And so my biggest tips for you when organizing a kitchen or any space is to really keep in mind the foundational principle of all like with like. If you store like with like, then you will always know what you have. You won't have to go to multiple places to look to find something. So in the case of a kitchen, I would say, you know, you have all your glasses and cups together, all your bowls, all your plates. That's all very obvious to most people. But we do also find that people have cooking utensils and then they have more like baking utensils. And so you want to think about how to zone the kitchen. So we usually create like a prep zone that's usually left of the stove. It depends on the infrastructure of the space, but a prep zone where you have all of your, you know, your spices, your oils, your vinegars, and then your utensils that you need for cooking. And then we would usually put into place a separate baking zone, which is what they're putting together here. This is a baking zone where everything that is baking specific will be stored.
Okay, so we have been putting things away into this beautiful kitchen. So lots of things going on right now. I think Amelia is doing some folding. We're about to actually fill the under cabinets of the islands. And then we're also working on some barware and some spices. We have lots of wine glasses, like I let you guys know. So we're kind of figuring out the best options for those right now. And I'll also take you around and show you some of the drawers we've done. This is our food violence drawer. Food violence is a funny term.
Spacing those two to do all these classes are not.
Room to grow.
So you will see in some of these pictures there are drawer dividers that are used. We will link those below. Those are a really inexpensive and simple way to organize drawers within your kitchen.
Okay, it's about 2:30 now and we are about 5 hours into our day. So we are finishing up the kitchen now and I will definitely show you guys how that comes together all at the end. But we are going to start on the pantry. So as you can tell behind me, there is some food in this pantry, and then because this was, you know, they had things in boxes as well, we are going to unpack those boxes, see what we find for food, categorize exactly like we did for the kitchen. We like to clear off some tables. You could use your kitchen island, your dining room table, just any spaces you have to take everything out, categorize it into your different categories, which we'll show you once we do, and then we're going to organize the pantry to finish out this day.
So here they are getting everything categorized, and in the next section Lindsay will go through what some of those categories are. That just helps us, again, get a good visual inventory and help with space planning if we know how much of each category exists in the space.
Okay, so we are close to being done categorizing all of the pantry food. So we have categories like baking, we have some wellness and breakfast, produce, and then we have things like quick meals, pasta, and meal prep. We usually like to do our cans on the ground. They're a little bit heavier, out of the way. We have some drinks. And then over here by Amelia, we have, it looks like, some snacks over there. And here is the pantry before. It's a little bit of a tight space today, so it's gonna be a bit difficult to show you as we're in here, but here is the before. There's some gorgeous cabinets. So we have lots of space to unpack. Some more cabinets down here, some lowers. The countertop in here is gorgeous, and that's going to be really helpful for the different appliances. We have some plugs that we can utilize. They actually have a custom wine fridge in this corner, so that will make it a little difficult to access this space over here, but we'll let you guys know what we put there. And then there are some really pretty shelves up here as well, some open shelving, so we'll definitely try to put some prettier items on those, and probably on the top one, since it's a little bit out of reach, so we'll probably put some things up there that they don't reach for as often. So this is the pantry before. We're gonna start space planning and filling it up, and we'll let you know when we get farther.
So we had some challenges with this pantry. One of them is that the lowers were not drawers. We would have much preferred drawers on the lowers, but with the configuration, it just wasn't possible. And then the other challenge is a lot of the storage space was open shelving, which really limits us to really aesthetic, beautiful storage, which is okay. We made it work, but those are some of the challenges that we had with this space. Okay, so here's a look at the after. We use these really pretty canisters on the floating shelves to store her baking. And here's a look behind the cabinets where we have all the different food categories: baking, quick meals, meal prep, produce, etc. And then you can see here we use the Hyacinth bins behind these doors. These are Hyacinth baskets from the Container Store, which we will link. And the next item I want to point out is the Rowen Stackable right here. This is so nice for single-serve snacks.
Okay, we're just finishing up in this beautiful kitchen and pantry, so I'm going to give you a quick tour of what we did. We always like to do pots and pans right by the stove, so that's what we did in these two drawers. And then usually we have stovetop utensils and hot pads and stuff close to the stove as well. And then close to the dishwasher, which is over here, we like to have dishes. So we've got like eating utensils, the daily plates and bowls, we have the daily drinkware, and then in the uppers, we always like to also have spices and oils and vinegars close to the stove when you're cooking. And then some of their more used bar items went up high too. Okay, and then usually around the oven, we like to have, if they don't already have a built-in one, we bring a four-sort, and this is where we like to do like baking sheets and then cutting boards, so they're stored vertically. And then underneath, there's usually a deep drawer for like casserole dishes or specialty baking pans. So that's kind of what we like to do around the Okay, the last little zone that we have is for appliances. So they have this, and they made it so that they'll have like a little appliance garage. So their most used ones are here. Other ones and parts that aren't used as often are up high. And then there's this really awesome pull out for even more appliances. So this was our little appliance zone.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and like this video if it was helpful. Feel free to comment any questions you have down below for us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.